constituency that has not, for the past several years, been earmarked for upgrading to bitumen standards. Construction works commenced on 15 November 2022, but to date, only 2 kilometers of the road have been completed, with the remaining section yet to be upgraded. The prolonged delay caused considerable inconvenience to residents, farmers, traders, and other road users who continue to suffer the effects of its poor and deteriorating condition. Further, Mr. Speaker, routine maintenance has not been undertaken, in particular clearing the bushes, which has resulted in overgrown bushes encroaching on the significantly reducing usable width of the road. It's noteworthy that with the ongoing construction of the Rironi-Mau Summit Road, which is expected to occasion traffic disruptions and diversions, timely completion of Kindiki-Maraigushu Road would provide a suitable alternative route and help decongest the main highway, not to mention, Mr. Speaker, that I have written to the CS responsible with no response. Mr. Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure on the following: measures put in place to ensure the timely completion and of the upgrading of Kindiki-Maraigushu Road to bitumen standards, including an indication on the proposed timelines for its completion. And number 2, Mr. Speaker, steps taken to ensure routine maintenance of the roads, such as clearing the bushes to ensure accessibility by road users, connecting Kindiki and Maraigushu markets, pending upgrading works. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair, Transport. When can you bring a
Honorable
response?
Speaker, will take 3 to 4 weeks to respond.
I'll give you 3.
Thank you.
3 weeks from today. Responses. Is George Murugara in the house? Yes, George Best.
Best is here.
Sunguya? Not Sunguya. Tongoyo. Sunguya, you are not yet a chairman. Gabriel Tongoyo.
Yes, sir. Honorable Speaker, I've got 2 statements for Sir George Murugara.
Give both in quick succession. Then if you want any clarity.
No, Honorable Speaker, I will start with the one of the child, the missing child. You remember yesterday we did report the instances of missing children in the country.
Yes.
And this is one, the child name is Miss Shelley Gatumi Mugedi. And it was the circumstance surrounding the missing and the death. I want to respond as follows. On the 29th April, Ms. Harriet Kagendo Majira, a resident of the Riani village, within a location reported at the Makutano police station, via bin number 1229 of 2026, that her 3-year-old daughter, Shelley Gatumi, had gone missing as from the 27th April at around 14 hours. She stated that the child was playing outside the house while she kept watch from the house. Shortly thereafter, she noticed that her daughter was no longer within the site and could not be traced. The neighborhood unsuccessfully conducted a more extensive search for the child on the following day. Subsequently, the OCS in the said police station circulated a missing person signal to all police stations countrywide. On the 29th April 2026, additionally, the officers from the Mutano police station visited the missing child home and surrounding area to assist in the search. And on the May 2nd, Mr. Geoffrey Mutinda, a resident of the area, reported at Mutano police station that while spraying an insecticide on his pigeon peas farm near Iriaini Central School, together with 2 casual laborers, they discovered the partially decomposed body of a minor beneath a mango tree. The officers documented the scene while Abubuku Kanyana positively identified the body as of his daughter. The body was removed to Mari Martini Level 5 Hospital for preservation and postmortem, and the sub-county criminal investigation officers Chuka North took over the investigation via inquest file number 1 of 2026, and several persons of interest were summoned, interviewed, and their statement recorded. During the course of the investigation, and based on the witness statement obtained, no link was established between any person and the disappearance and subsequent murder of the minor. Further, no evidence of probative value was obtained. On the 12th of May, a postmortem examination was conducted by Dr. Richard Joroge, the pathologist, who opined that the cause of death was asphyxia secondary to ligature strangulation. Specimens were collected for DNA profiling, though the analysis report is yet to be received. The step taken, Honorable Speaker, the officer commanding OCS circulated, I think that one had already said, the investigation are still ongoing to determine the perpetrators of the heinous act. And on the status of the investigation, the investigation file was completed and forwarded to the office of the DPP, Chuka, on the 18th June 2026. In response to the ODPP vital letter dated the 22nd June, recommended that the matter be placed before a magistrate of competent jurisdiction to conduct a public inquest. And I underline that, Honorable Speaker. So far, no arrest has been made in relation to the matter, and the case remains a pending court investigation. So maybe on that one, I can stop at that.
Go to the next. About arrest and the release of a suspect.
On the next question, statement rather, this is regarding circumstances that led to the arrest and the subsequent release of a suspect by the DCI. The member, or this is, I want to go straight to the response. On the 7th January, the complaint was lodged at the DCI headquarters by Eric Matakwa Okeno, who stated that he is the legal administrator of the estate of his late sister, Rosemary Ann Akinyi Okeno, which included land parcel number CR number 51563, situated in Kikambala, Kilifi County. He alleged that the property has been unlawfully occupied by James Ovid Sugar Yap, a British national, and his agent, Faruki Omar Mzee, and that the property's title deed has been fraudulently transferred using a forged document. He further stated that he had previously reported the matter at Mupwata police station, but alleged that no action has been taken on the complaint. Pursuant to the complaint, the DCI directed the Land Fraud Investigation Unit at DCI headquarters to take over the matter and conducted further investigation, of which during the investigation, the team recorded statements from relevant parties, including one James Ovid, who is being outside the country, submitted a self-recorded statement together with a supporting document through a relative residing in the country, one Mr. Faruki Omar, who claimed an interest in the property by virtue of a general power of attorney granted to him by James Ovid Yap. In addition, the investigation team obtained relevant documents from the Mombasa Land Registry and other institutions to facilitate the investigation. On the analysis, Honorable Speaker, the document revealed inconsistency in the land records, including discrepancies between the mother file deed and the presentation book entries, as well as an erroneous OB number quoted in a police abstract relating to the loss of the original title deed. The record further indicated that James Ovid, a non-Kenyan citizen, held an interest in the property under a freehold tenure, which is contrary to Article 65, subsection 1 of the Constitution of Kenya. Upon conclusion of the investigation, the duplicate file was forwarded to the DPP for perusal and direction, which recommended that James Shukar Farooq Omar and George Oduol and Lucy Momanyi to be charged as follows. Count 1, James Shukuriap, Farouk Omar, George Oduol and Lucy Momanyi to be jointly charged with conspiracy to defraud contrary to section 317 of the Penal Code. Count 2, James Ovid Sharap, Farouk Omar, and George Oduol to be jointly charged with forgery of title to land contrary to section 351 of the Penal Code. Count 3, James Ovid Sharap, alias Alva, to be jointly charged with a perjury contrary to section 113 of the Penal Code, with an alternative charge of fabricating evidence contrary to section 114 of the Penal Code. And the count 5, James Shukuriap and Farouk Omar to be jointly charged with intermeddling with the property of the deceased persons contrary to section 45 of the Law of Succession Act. After perusal of the duplicate file, the ODPP on a letter dated 9th February, directed the Farouk Omar Mzee be charged with the following offenses: intermeddling with the property of the deceased, obtaining registry of the title by false pretense, and acting on the ODPP direction, Farouk Omar was arrested on the 2nd April this year in the Hadi area and booked at Hadi Police Station, Vido bin number 11224 of 2026. He was thereafter escorted to DCI headquarters for processing, Vido bin number 1224 of 2026, and subsequently placed in a custody at Muthaiga Police Station, or bin number 2824 of 2026. However, the suspect stated that crucial evidence, and I think this is where the controversy from my colleague is, the crucial evidence relevant to the matter had not been considered during the investigation and requested a review of the case. In the interest of fair administration action, he was released via bin number 2924 of 2026 and directed to present the additional evidence for consideration. The new evidence, namely the Court of Appeal judgment, was subsequently reviewed, following which the duplicate file was resubmitted to ODPP for further review of the decision to charge via the letter as indicated there, which was dated on the 11th June this year. The review was informed by the existence of the related civil proceeding before the High Court of Kenya at Mombasa, civil suit number 2 of 2014, in which James Ovid Sugar Yap was the plaintiff, while Eric Okeno, Judith Sembi Okeno. I'm trying to rush, it's a little bit long. Yeah, in the matter, the court ruled, Honorable Speaker, I know this is where the member, George, had an issue. In the matter, the court ruled in favor of the plaintiff, issued orders directing the defendant to vacate and hand over the vacant possession of plot number 5313, CR 51563, and to pay general damages for the trespass amounting to 1.2 million. The judgment was delivered on the October 9th of 2020, and the defendant appealed against the High Court judgment via appeal number E027 of 2020 before the Court of Appeal in Mombasa, and the appeal was unsuccessful, and the Court of Appeal upheld the decision of the High Court. The duplicate police file is currently with ODPP for review in light of the new evidence presented. The police are awaiting direction. The police are awaiting direction and guidance from the ODPP. Upon receipt of the ODPP direction, the appropriate action will be taken. So I think to that end, Honorable Speaker, I'm sure during interrogation, the suspect. So I think the members, I think that's tend to summarize what is important in the report, in the statement, Honorable Speaker. And I submit.
Yes, Honorable. Thank you. Morogara.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, these are extremely unsatisfactory responses from a serious body like the DCI, which is the successor entitled to the CID. And CID was loved and hated in equal measure because they used to do their job properly. The DCI here seems to be actually muddling issues and not taking his work seriously, and especially because of the following reasons. As regards the child, whose name is Shali Katumi Mugendi. The child was actually kidnapped or whatever it was on the 27th of April 2026, and about 7 or so days later, in the same village where the police officers were conducting searches, that's where she was found. And what is most disturbing is the fact that in a rural setup like this one, the CID can come up with an answer that they do not know who committed the heinous crime, and they have therefore nobody to charge in the court. They call upon the public in an inquest to go and provide evidence for them to enable them act. I think the former CIDs who are now the DCI would possibly laugh at this, because those days we used to know the CID, that even if you committed a crime when you were alone, it wouldn't take you long before you are actually arrested and charged. But today, here is a crime committed in an old village where everybody lives, in a rural setup where everybody knows one another. And as we speak, we have now to cross our hands and pray that somebody has information to give to the police so that there can be a prosecution. This is most unsatisfactory. Let the CID do their work, please, because that is what we pay them for. Now, as regards the second statement, which I would term as also most unsatisfactory, this gentleman was arrested on the 2nd of April. We are told that he was taken to Bahari police station on the same day. Then a statement is made subsequently. He was taken to the headquarters, after where they took him to Muthaiga. And this is all the same day, purely because of the OB numbers given here. Now, it raises doubt whether really this man was handled properly, whether he was taken to any police station, or these are fabrications of the CID. But most important, if the DPP recommended that he be arrested and taken to court, what other business did the DCI have to say he had more evidence and therefore he needed to go back home to bring that evidence so that the file can be reviewed? Since when has the DCI reviewed information or evidence from the DPP? This is extremely curious. But most important again, when they say the evidence related to a civil case, if you look at the charges they proposed to the DCI the first instance, one of them is count number 3, that he would be charged with the perjury. Where was the perjury committed? It is in the cases that are being cited. The next one is an alternative charge of fabricating evidence. Where was the evidence fabricated if it was not in those cases? This statement is an afterthought. I'm sorry, the CS is actually trying to cover up for the CID, while the correct position is that the advice of the DPP has to be followed, the man has to be arrested, arraigned in court, and justice to take its own course. Now, we are told the file is with the DPP, and therefore it has not moved to DCI, purely because I think the DPP is also getting frustrated. How can you recommend that the file is brought back? You are told to recommend again so that we can act. This must be brought to an end. And the Honorable Tongoyo, being the chair of this committee, should actually put down his feet to tell the DCI, move with speed, execute the advice of the DPP so that every Kenyan can also receive justice. It cannot be that we can arrest somebody who is a suspect. He comes and says, I have more evidence. He's released. And we are down 4 months since he was released. 4 months, they have not arrested him. They have done nothing. Sincerely, this is frustrating. This makes every Kenyan wonder what the DCI is doing. Thank you very much.
Tongoyo?
I may not have much to add. I think you can agree with me. It's a little bit of a complex situation. It's an issue between the judiciary, ODPP, and DCI.
He says you have given the most unsatisfactory statement. Is that true?
I don't agree, Honorable Speaker. That's what I'm trying to say. A complex situation like this of land, even land in Kenya can drag at even like 20, 30-ish, We have one in Narogor Kiombo, which is doing about 36 years now. So, and,
good. What we do, keep the file open.
Yes.
If you get additional information, furnish the MP.
I will.
Yes. George Best, we'll leave it there. Junet, you, from the House Business Committee, you have the Thursday statement.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 442A, I rise to present the following statement on behalf of the House Business Committee, which met on Tuesday, 28th July 2026, to prioritize business for consideration during the week and the business coming before the House in the next week. Honorable Speaker, I wish to formally welcome members back from the just concluded short recess and urge them we all embark on the consideration of the upcoming priority business with rigor. As we approach the end of the 5th session, I urge members to remain committed to plenary and committee proceedings in order to enable the House to maintain optimal performance in its consideration of business. Honorable Speaker, with regard to business schedule for Tuesday next week, the House is expected to consider the following bills at various stages, some of which are listed in today's order paper. Second reading of the following bills. 1. The Business Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 51 of 2024. The Competition Amendment Bill 2026. The Books and Newspapers Amendment Bill 2025. The County Library Services Bill, Senate Bill number 40 of 2024. The County Assembly Services Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 34 of 2024, and the Creative Economy Support Bill, Senate Bill number 30 of 2024. B. Committee of the Whole House on the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, Senate Bill number 8 of 2026. Additionally, Honorable Speaker, debate will be undertaken on the following motions should they not be concluded today. 1. Report of the Kenya delegation to the 151 Assembly of the Interparliamentary Union, IPU, and related meetings. Second, report on the status of reports on petitions and resolutions. 3. Report on the audited financial statements of selected state corporations in the road and transport sector. 4. Report on the audited financial statements of selected state corporations in the energy sector. 5. Third, report on the status of reports on petitions and resolutions. 6. Seventh, report on the audited financial statements for various funds. 7. Ninth, report on the audited financial statements for various state corporations. 9. Fifth, report on the status of reports on petitions and resolutions. And 10, report on sessional paper number 5 of 2026 on the national energy policy. Honorable Speaker, the House will also prioritize the motion and committee of the whole House on the consideration of Senate amendments to the Kenya National Council for Population and Development Bill 2023. The Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning, to which the amendments were referred for considerations, is therefore urged to table its report to the House to guide the considerations of the Senate amendments. Honorable Speaker, with respect to the appearance of Cabinet Secretaries to answer questions from members and provide reports on matters under their charge, I wish to inform the House that question time will be resumed at an appropriate time to be notified. In conclusion, the House Business Committee shall reconvene on Tuesday, 4th August 2026 to schedule business for the rest of that week. And I wish to lay this statement on the table of the House. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Junet. That is the end of statement time. Honorable members, on the order paper, have been requested by the Chair of Budget and Appropriations Committee, and I've acceded to his request that I reorganize the order paper so that we bring forward order number 10. Then once we dispose of order number 10, we'll go on to order number 8, 9, and sequentially follow the rest of the orders. Yes, Jared?
Honorable Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. Honorable Speaker, I want to state as follows, that leaders are by nature judged at higher standards than any other ordinary mortal, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, about 2-3 weeks ago, a leader in this country did assert that the British Army Training Unit of Kenya had decamped this country for Tanzania, Honorable Speaker, without facts, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, only for 5 days ago, for Batu commanders to come out to say that they have since resumed trainings within this country, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, it is also important to note that moving military trainees together with the artilleries that they have is not a mean achievement. It's not an easy exercise that can be done within a short period of time, Honorable Speaker. We are privileged in this House, Honorable Speaker, that you have been our Minister for Foreign Affairs, and no one understands better the diplomatic processes involved. Even when the Batuk had to decamp, there are legal and diplomatic means that must be put in place before such a movement is done, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, we've been... Sorry, Honorable Speaker. So what the leaders are saying, and these are from the United Opposition, Honorable Speaker, as sensational as they are, is to instill fear into people and judge Kenya as a failed state, Honorable Speaker. Far from it, Honorable Speaker, there are many United Nations organizations that are moving into this country and are setting their bases here, amidst the noises that are coming from our political detractors, Honorable Speaker. But as leaders, I think it is important that we really investigate what we say and how we say it, because this country belongs to us all. If it collapses with all of us, Honorable Speaker. Just not too long ago, the same leader was asking tourists not to step their feet into this country, Honorable Speaker. Yet, out of tourism, we get our #2 best earner, Honorable Speaker. So, if the tourists refuse to come, how many people do you think are going to lose jobs, are going to lose livelihoods, which they eke out of both tourism and hospitality industries, Honorable Speaker? So, politics we can play, and it is important that we play politics. But when it gets into the attention of the international community, Honorable Speaker, we really have to be careful. We have to step back, reflect, retool before we make any adverse assertions that are coming from our leaders. So, Honorable Speaker, you sit at a vantage position to advise leaders from across the aisle to be very careful with the pronouncements that they make, particularly those that inhibit both on international community issues and our own local issues, because the world has become a global village. What you say here does not really end up at Wamunyoro village. It gets the attention of everybody. So, Honorable Speaker, we pass this baton back to you to advise leaders to be very careful and not to become too sensational with emotive consequences that may again ban this country. 2007, 2008, and the attendant bad things that happened, Honorable Speaker, was a result of such careless pronouncements by leaders. So thank you for the opportunity, Honorable Speaker. Please direct our country. We have faith in you. We have confidence in you.
Thank you. Yes, Jeanette?
Speaker, thank you for giving me a chance to say something. Mr. Speaker, what is going on in this country is alarming. Mr. Speaker, just first to buttress what my colleague has said about Batuk. not only did that, I don't want to call him a leader, but that person or that impeached leader, did he only say that that contract was cancelled? He said there was a demand of 3 billion shillings by people in government to be allowed to do their work in Nyanyuki or in Kenya. And Mr. Speaker, a day later, the whole thing was restored back. Mr. Speaker, what is happening in this country is really, really alarming. There is gross violation of the Constitution. This one man who has violated the Constitution when he was in office, and he continues violating the Constitution when he's out of office, Mr. Speaker. I don't know whether our institutions have stopped working. The NCIC, the DCI, the police, Mr. Speaker, because what that impeached leader is doing in this country is to destroy the fabric of this country so that Kenyans can turn against each other. Mr. Speaker, I'm sorry I came late to the House, but with your permission, Mr. Speaker, I'm one of the people or one of the leaders in this House, Mr. Speaker, who have been elected from a constituency that his community does not stay or is not the majority, Mr. Speaker. And I've represented them for over 3 terms. And I was even a mayor there, Mr. Speaker, where you visited me many times when you were mentoring me in leadership.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, those people did not look at my tribe, did not look at my religion, did not look at my color, they did not look at my face or how my nose looks like. They looked at my capacity to serve them, Mr. Speaker, that community who stay in that area, the Luo community. Mr. Speaker, what is happening in this country? Now, the impeached leader goes to Meru and says, have you missed somebody from here that you can elect an Indian? He goes to Kisii. He says, have you missed someone, then you're electing another Indian here or Chotara? Mr. Speaker, when have we gone that low in this country, Mr. Speaker? When have we, himself, he's claiming that, or he's pleading that his impeachment should be withdrawn by the courts so that he can run for a higher office. He claims that he wants to become a president or a deputy. Who will elect him? If he doesn't want an Indian to be elected in Meru, why should we elect him as our leader? A rogue person like him, Mr. Speaker? A mental case. This is a man with is a psychopath, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to urge, and I'm speaking with a lot of humility, that, Mr. Speaker, if our institutions that are mandated to uphold and defend the Constitution do not take any action against this rogue leader, Mr. Speaker, don't be shocked if Kenya starts, having problems with each other, Mr. Speaker. Look at, Mr. Speaker, what's happening in other parts. The other day, there's a fugitive group that ran away from ODM. They wanted to go and campaign for some candidate in that by-election in Olkalau, Mr. Speaker. He told them, no, you cannot go there. I'm not going to allow you to go to Olkalau. Is Olkalau